welcome everybody to the Analyst Desk. It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. Moore Free Money.
Woo!
And Adam by himself.
Oh,
yes, by myself. I don't know why I keep this name.
You know what, Adam? You're
I'm too
never
lazy.
alone when you're at the desk.
That's right.
Well, I'm alone in my bedroom, so does that count?
Well, you always have your hand, but that's okay.
Anyways.
Dan! Oh, my God.
I have just changed Adam's name on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Never gonna keep it as that ever again. No, just because
he right away in the comments, saving us from Dan's terrifying comments. A crazy day in the NFL. Crazy.
That's true. A quite crazy day.
Have a crazy day. It looked like the Bills were cooked to win the division. Well, cooked. Allen cooked.
Touchdown.
That's the first thing I wanted to talk about.
Blew a humongous lead. The Patriots were up 14-0 at one. I think weren't they up like 22-0 at one point?
They're up 21-0.
21-0.
21-0, and then they're up 24-7 after the end to halftime. I think it was something like that.
And let's be honest, you would think if Josh Allen didn't even throw 200 yards, like he threw 3 TDs, but you wouldn't think you'd get this much offense out of not even 400 yards of total yardage between the passing and running game, but they did.
Well, the other thing you gotta think too is we all love Josh Allen. I think he is the best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. But the other thing you gotta give credit to is Cook. Cook got 2 rushing touchdowns. This game would have not been this game without Cook.
Cook is
Both
so
teams'
good.
running backs played very well. So did Henderson in New England.
Oh yes, boy! 60-yard touchdown he got was nuts in the third quarter.
But you know what else? Do you know what else is insane?
What?
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Hold on to your hats, or hold on to your Austin Matthews helmet. It's Lane Dashing.
Oh, he's the dashing one.
Oh.
Also, I also want to say that it's kind of crazy that Pittsburgh again blew a lead today.
I know.
Or was it last night? Whichever one. They blew a lead.
Last night they blew a major lead.
Why
am I not surprised?
I lost my patience last night.
And even today, they lost in overtime to the Mammoth. So Pittsburgh's having, Pittsburgh
lead.
Pittsburgh has more overtime losses than regular losses.
Now, you gotta realize, though, it's a big problem with the NHL's point system.
And Pittsburgh was up 3-0, and they blew a 3-0 lead and lost in overtime. So pretty much the same as blowing a 5-1 lead and losing in overtime on Saturday.
They blew that lead also in like 4 minutes. 5 minutes. It was like 5 minutes of game time. They blew it. I'm like, how the heck do you do that? Like, how the heck do you blow?
It's okay.
I don't know. I said it, and then I'm like, maybe not the right word I was trying to use.
Lane's getting a thank you shout out here.
Thank you, Lane. Thank you, Lane, for shouting me out. It was appreciated. Fame.
Fame or fam? I think it's fam.
Yeah, I was just trying to make it rhyme.
I had a great comment there, Lane, but I doubt Jacob will make me repeat it.
No.
No, we're not going to repeat it.
Why we changed Adam's name to Adam is never alone. Let's put it that way, Lane. Also, as a quick update, Montreal Canadiens are up 3-0 over the Oilers of goals from Demidov, Venno, and Suzuki.
Who's in net for the Oilers? Is it Skinner?
It's definitely not Skinner for the Oilers because he's no longer there. It's Calvin Pickard.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting. Oh, my gosh. My brain.
Calvin Pickard. And it's Jacob Dobis in for Montreal. So he's so far having a nice bounce back game.
That makes sense. Well, didn't Fowler play like the last? I'm pretty sure Fowler played.
He did, but all I mean is it's a good bounce back game for so far, at least for Dobis. I mean, because he hasn't not been playing well.
Well, it was good rest for him too.
Dobis took a pill, then he bounced back.
Yeah. Well, I also want to say Green Bay
took a pill and a
threw away an absolute great opportunity for them with like under 2 minutes to go to come back and beat Denver with like 3 or 4 straight missed passes after Denver failed on a 4 and 2. And then Green Bay threw it away, which makes no sense to me at all. But go ahead, Green Bay, and choke away a great opportunity to try and tie it.
I've said
shocked
this
with Green
before.
Bay.
This NFL season has been arguably the most interesting NFL season in a while. So we got the Chiefs that have been eliminated.
That's crazy.
And Mahomes just torn his ACL.
Which Mahomes tore his ACL. And that's tough for the Chiefs to have to finish their season on a quarterback that's never thrown a ball out.
Lane can't comment on the Chiefs because he doesn't want to sweep on the sofa, and his girlfriend is a Chiefs fan.
Well, Parsons may have torn his ACL as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
I saw that. Devontae Adams. He might be out with a hamstring injury now too.
I know. That's sad to see.
But McVay,
and I mean, let's be honest,
McVay's
the Rams are not.
Child.
The Rams are not the same team without Devontae Adams. I mean, they're still a good team, obviously. They beat the Lions today, which puts the Lions in a tough spot too, right?
Yeah. Well, that Lions team hasn't looked great. I don't know what it is. I think their defense just like really outside of the Hutchinson.
Are they eliminated now too?
Lions, no, they're mathematically, but they're not in the driver's seat anymore.
No. It's rough out there for them now.
It's tough now. They're going to have a much harder road.
I am shocked with Green Bay because at the beginning of the year after the big trade to the Cowboys, Green Bay looked like one of the most dominant teams in the league. They look like they're going to win the Super Bowl. And now they're like a mediocre. Well, I can't say mediocre for 9-4, but like they're not mediocre.
They're not great.
Definitely take a step back from where they started.
Well, shout out to Myles Garrett though, because Myles Garrett is like he's one sack now away from breaking the all-time season sack record.
Wow,
in Cleveland, like a pretty bad Cleveland loss too. So you know what? A good thing for Cleveland. Myles Garrett is one sack away from breaking. Well, like in the season's only like what is it, week 15? Sorry.
Yeah,
and it's like he's almost there. Like he could have broken it earlier in the season when you think about it.
Oh, for sure.
He was been on a tear this whole year, and it's insane how well he's been playing this year. And then it's like a wasted season, really, when you think about it.
I do want to say, too, as much as he didn't get the win, I was actually impressed with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought considering the guy hasn't played in a while, he went 18 for 27, 120 yards, and a touchdown. He did throw a pick, but the interception was like, you're desperate to move the ball down the field, and you heaved it deep with 7 seconds left to try to put yourself in field goal range. I'm not really upset about the pick.
No.
And yeah, I know Lane, you might not. Those stats don't jump off the page like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. But I mean, he did give you a chance to win.
That's all you want from 40-year-old.
He's 44 and hasn't played in 5 years.
Yeah, I thought he looked okay. 44. I watched some highlights. It looks like he's throwing the ball decent.
Well, like I watched that last drive. It's like me and my dad both looked at each other and we're like, that throw was pretty good for a guy who hasn't played in 5 years and is like he looked tired, like he looked gassed at the end of that game. And I'm like, it's still a pretty impressive throw. He nearly got them. If that was caught, they were nearly in the field goal position.
They still had timeouts left, so like, he gave them a chance. It's really been a crazy day in the NFL, though. We got another comment here from our good friend of the program, Myles Garrett. My boy is gonna do it. Yeah, you know, hopefully he can get it done. He's still got a couple games left to do it. Browns did not look good today, though. I think is this safe to say this was Shedeur Sanders' worst start this year?
Oh yeah, no, Shedeur.
He really struggled. 3 interceptions. I mean, now mind you, this Bears defense is very good,
but it's also a good lesson for him.
Absolutely,
that it's like not everything is going to come like the way it's come for him so far, where it hasn't looked, where he hasn't been horrendous. But this game was a good like learning point for him when he's playing like a really good defense. And it's like he struggled out there, whether it's the plays just weren't there for him, or it's like that first interception. I think it was the first one where he threw it to Judy basically in the end zone, and it was like just taken from Judy. And it's like, that's so unfortunate. It's not his fault, but it's a great throw. Judy maybe should have held on to it, but it's like, what can you do in that situation, I guess, if you're...
I mean, he also got no help from his running game, and Shedeur Sanders was also the leading rusher in that game.
Which is weird because their run game hasn't even been that bad this year.
No, it's been decent. But, look, I think the Bears are the real deal this year.
They definitely look it.
I think this Bears... Do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? Honestly, no. Do I think, though, they're going to push some teams? Sure. I think they're a good team. Look, you guys, I don't know if you guys think this is a hot take for me or not. But when I'm looking at a team, because I think the Super Bowl's wide open this year, with especially now that the Chiefs are out, the Eagles are inconsistent. The Bills, as much as I love them, I don't know if they have enough weapons. I'm looking at the Denver Broncos as a team that I think would make a real push.
Well, after today, I think. Oh, sorry, Jacob.
But Bo Nix is insane.
He is.
I think after today, like Denver, especially with how the Patriots performed, because. And I found this really funny because I saw a video just after the Bills game had ended of, oh my gosh, what's his name? The guy who runs Barstool, like their president, celebrating after it was like 24-7 at halftime or something. And he's like, the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl. And we're the returning kings of the AFC. And then I'm like, dude, this was such a poor reaction from you. Like, you're up 24-7. Yeah, go ahead and celebrate. But like, don't get so cocky, because Denver, I think, in my opinion, and I think in a lot of people's opinion, Denver looks like they're the best team. Like, they look like they're going to win the Super Bowl at this point, but it doesn't look like the Patriots are going to get out of the AFC at this point because of that. You can't play that way after being up 24-7.
I know.
Play the way they play. Like, that's inexcusable from a team who's been playing as well as they have been this season. You can't play the way they just played.
So you kind of looked at their schedule, and it was hard to tell if this team was the real deal or a fraud just because of how easy of a schedule they've had. And I understand at the end of the day, even easy games, you have to go out and win them. But, like, now they've given the Bills a real chance to make a comeback in this division, and I just kind of want to go back through these games. Before the Bills, they beat the Giants. Okay, the game against the Bengals was a tougher one. Beat the Jets. Bucks are a good team, but they've been struggling of late. Barely beat the Falcons, and the Falcons suck. They beat the Browns, but the Browns suck. They beat the Titans, but the Titans suck. They beat the Saints, and the Saints suck. They beat the Bills. That was a surprise. And they smoked the Panthers, and at the time, the Panthers were playing like two packs of ass. So, like, you look at this stretch, and everyone's like, oh, they don't need Thomas Brady anymore. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, but you're beating a bunch of teams that you should beat. And mind you, you beat them. We could look at the Buffalo Bills when they lost to Miami, and that was kind of when they started to really take a bit of a sit down. But
painful watch.
But like now for the Patriots, they just played the Bills. Next game is against the Ravens, who the Ravens shockingly shut out the Bengals. Like,
I know saw that coming.
I don't think Burrow even played that bad today. Like, I saw the first interception, and it's like Jamar Chase had to have that ball. Like, Jamar Chase let that basically like just go through his hands and into the Ravens player. I'm like, you can't really do much. And then the defense didn't help at all. The Bengals.
No, not at all.
And it's like, what is Joe like? I really do think because of last week, I think Joe Burrow asks. I think he should ask for a trade out of Cincinnati. Because this is getting ridiculous at this point. It's like
trade deadline's passed. I've waited to the offseason.
He means for next year, though, Mr. Moore.
Yeah, it's like he's gotta because I think if Burrow goes, then Jamar Chase is gonna leave. There's no way Jamar Chase stays on this team if Joe Burrow leaves, in my opinion. No. And it's like at that point, Cincinnati just they just put themselves into a rebuild for no reason after just signing their three best players all to extensions. Like in the recent times. And it's like Joe Burrow like took money off of his contract to get Higgins and to keep Jamar Chase. And it's like, you haven't done anything. Like, it's again, another wasted season. And it's like, he came back to try and get this team into the playoffs. And it's all gone downhill the last 2 weeks for them. And it's like, what more does he have to do at this point?
But it's interesting here in the comments from Key saying that apparently, JJ McCarthy pulled a Daniel Jones and randomly started falling trying to get a touchdown in the end zone.
JJ.
I'm kind of curious too, though, and I know Dan and I have talked about this off camera in quite extensive length. Do we feel the Vikings maybe just should have held on to Sam Darnold for 1 or 2 more years
100%.
just to give McCarthy?
I feel like we talked about this, Jacob.
We have Adam as well. But like I feel like McCarthy has shown some flashes. I even thought in this game, the touchdown pass he threw. Now, mind you, the broadcast was going on. It was the greatest pass they've seen in NFL history. It was nice, but it was nothing crazy. But like, then you also see an interception. It's just kind of a bad read, right?
Yeah.
So I found with McCarthy, and as much as I've never been the biggest fan of Tom Brady, as a Bills fan, you don't like Tom Brady, but Tom Brady did say it really well, how the league is expecting starters to come in and be superstars year one when they don't even know the playbook yet.
Yeah, literally. Like, how can we be a star right away?
You know what? You just wonder with Minnesota, because they have such a good receiving core. If they kept Darnold, sign him to a 1-year deal, and just say, like, you know, we want to keep you around for one more year. We feel with you, we have a legitimate chance to win a lot of football games, because look how good the Seahawks are with him this year. I'm not saying Sam Darnold's going to win the MVP, but he's a good quarterback. He's a quarterback with the right receiving core that can give you a legitimate chance to win. And I just wonder with the Vikings, are they missing another year of a prime Justin Jefferson with a quarterback that just can't make the reads yet?
Why?
I know they're tied right now with Dallas, but I mean, Dallas is a weird team this year too.
Dallas are just bad. Like, I don't want to say they're bad because it's not.
They can be good.
Like, the offense is really good, but like it's like you send away probably your best defensive player in Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
But you get back what Jerry Jones says is players that fit their team better than Micah Parsons did. Definitely. And it's like, but like, it doesn't show because you guys suck. You guys are worse. And
but
it's like,
crazy.
You can't be worse.
Parsons made Green Bay that much. Like, you would, in theory, right away you say yes, but then you kind of start to look at the record to this year to last year, and you realize it's kind of the same.
Like,
and it's like I say this again because I felt like this especially after I watched his documentary on Netflix, and it's like I don't think Jerry Jones. I think what's a big thing that's happened is that Jerry Jones continues to try and be the GM he was in the 90s, where he's able to get in all these like really good players, and he was able to do all these great things for the Cowboys, but he is just not. I don't know what the right word is to say about him at this point, but it's like he's kind of just lost.
He's getting up there in age, that's for sure.
He's lost the plot basically, and he's not the play. He's not doing good things anymore for Dallas. He's doing things to feed his own ego.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like it's just ego central in Dallas over there, and he should have stepped away as being GM a long time ago and let somebody who knows more about running a football team and knows more about being a general manager than him. And it's no offense because he did a great job. He had done a great job, but he's just soured his own legacy. Not as owner, because I think he's been a great owner for Dallas.
Oh, for sure.
As general manager, he has ruined his own legacy as a general manager for Dallas by continuing to be it and absolutely doing a horrible job at it.
Yep.
I mean, the Cowboys, it's a weird situation because we can say it's a bad year for them, but they still have a fighting shot of making the playoffs right now, right? Like, they're still in the mix. It's not a great shot, but
they're right at the edge. Like, they're basically
they got to win out.
I think they're pretty much done. Okay, competition.
Even then, that's not really even a guarantee.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like, because they're tied with a bad Minnesota team. Like, I know it's the second quarter, but
Minnesota's been better of late, though. Like, I do think McCarthy is but I mean, just to kind of bring something into perspective, right? The Packers finished 11-6 last year. Okay, mind you, Vikings huge drop off last year at 14-3, and the Cowboys last year finished at 7-10. The Cowboys are actually on pace to be better this year than they were last year. And that's all crazy. The drama and the BS, you could argue trading Micah Parsons made the team better.
Ooh, I don't know,
numbers don't
argue
lie.
that is Micah Parsons was the problem.
We're going to say, and I'm going to bring up the conversation we had yesterday, if we're going to say numbers don't lie when it comes to elite goal scoring, we can argue numbers don't lie when it comes to records. If the Cowboys win 8 games this year, and including a couple ties, they are a better team than they were last year.
Well, I think given how their year went last year, like you could definitely say that they've definitely been better than they were last year. Last year was just bad, like just all around bad. I don't remember if Dak Prescott, like how many games he may have missed last year. I don't think that helped him if he missed games because I don't remember if he did or not.
He missed, I think, 3, but Cooper Rush actually used to be kind of
Rush
decent.
played really well last year.
But I guess I don't know if trading Micah made them better or if it's just like the team all around. So maybe it does because Micah Parsons got traded. I don't think their defense is any better than it was last year. And like Micah was on the defense last year, of course. But like I just think what needed to happen in the offseason to make this team better and what did end up happening, which was I don't think they got some decent pieces, but I think they could have gotten better for Micah than what they got because he's Micah Parsons.
But at the same time,
I feel like you could have gotten more for him, but of course he probably did the best he could at this point when he made the trade, of course. But Dallas has certainly played a lot better, I guess you could say.
Well, it's kind of like the Quinn Hughes trade. I think they traded Quinn Hughes too early in the year. I think if they waited and traded Parsons at trade deadline, the pressures amped up. They could have got more. Same with Quinn Hughes. I mean, I thought they had a good, really, really good return for Quinn Hughes. But they wait till trade deadline, they could have got more.
Without Micah Parsons, the Cowboys are only allowing 1 more point against per game.
Wow, really?
Yes, I literally just did the math. So if you're going to say that not having Micah Parsons was this huge difference. Actually, hold on. I did it. Let me just double check. Actually, hold on. I actually think they're allowing less points per game. So I was just checking. So last year they allowed 28 points per game on average with Micah Parsons. They played 13 games at the moment.
Well, I guess
okay,
that means
so before they allowed 28 points per game, now they allow 29.6.
So
realistically, okay, sure, the defense got a smidge worse, but for how much you were paying Parsons, are you really missing him that much? And I understand there's that big game playability, but I mean, let's be honest, the Cowboys are on pace to have a better season this year.
Well, to be fair, that Dallas's secondary was absolutely heading into this year. I think a lot of people would say that Dallas secondary was probably the worst part of that team. That defense certainly, and that the secondary's been playing better this year. Fair enough. So I don't know if it's I guess trading Micah, did improve the team in sight that I think the rest of the team kind of decided to step up a little bit more than they did last year. But I guess it depends on your perspective of what I guess Micah really did for Dallas. But it's still it's such a weird trade and why they did the trade, I guess. But
well, I mean, at the end of the day, though, Jerry Jones wasn't going to re-sign him.
No, he wasn't.
Well, they traded him.
But even then, I think that's so interesting. It's why, I guess it becomes the question of what did Micah, what else did really Micah do outside of what was said after he was traded? What else happened behind closed doors that we don't know that led to that trade other than what has been released so far?
We'll never know, but it's just one of those things. I think everyone has been blaming the Cowboys not being that great because they lost Micah Parsons. You've seen some things, Dan.
I have.
I look at it. I don't. When you look at the numbers, losing, it's the same thing about Leaf fans still whining about losing Morgan Ryder. Dan, about Mitch Marner. At the end of the day, losing Micah Parsons has not affected the Cowboys' defense. Realistically, maybe there's less sacks. I'd have to really start digging in the numbers. But I look at a defense, your job is to not allow the team to score. I think that's a fair assessment of a defense. And they're doing it at a very similar rate without Micah Parsons.
But yeah, but still not in the playoff spot.
But they weren't in a playoff spot with Micah Parsons.
I know. What I'm saying is they're supposed to make trades to make the team better, not mediocre.
But I mean, if you're not going to, why keep a guy that isn't making enough difference to win more games?
Why not sit fireman?
But Dan, if they win today and one more game this year, actually, if they win today, they are better than last year because of the ties as well. So if they win today, they are better than what they were last year. It might not be a huge improvement, but why spend all that money if it doesn't make your team any better?
I don't know. What are you thinking, Lane? You haven't had a chance to talk in a little bit here. What are you thinking?
Kind of weird. Like, I kind of see what you're both are saying, because it's kind of like, well, like, it's like the thing we're saying about Austin Matthews. It's like, if they could trade him, well, maybe they should, because if they're holding on to a guy that they're not going to, like, say at least we're in the exact same spot right now where you could trade players and they weren't looking like they were going to make the playoffs. I would say trade Austin Matthews, because why are you holding on to a guy that's clearly not making your team better? Even if you don't get better, if you pick up things that could make you better in the future, whether it's draft picks or prospects, it's better to try something than to just stay in the same kind of like, atmosphere for the same member. The Cowboys were a team that weren't doing much better with them, with or without him. So whether he's on the roster didn't really make a difference.
True.
And I actually somewhat admire, as much as at the time I thought the trade was insane, I kind of admire the Cowboys for being willing to do something that everyone thought was crazy to try to shake up their dressing room.
True.
Like, I've seen people say Dak Prescott's the problem. I disagree with that completely. I think Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback.
But he's best in the league.
I don't think it helps that he hasn't done much winning. Like I think, like, no matter what you want to say, like, I feel like it's such a bad thing to say. Like, especially.
So then, do the Cowboys go for Joe Burrow? Do we see a Burrow for Prescott swap if Burrow wants out?
I think actually, what would be interesting, because I did see it today, the Vikings going out to reunite the Jettas and Burrow in Minnesota. But I don't think Minnesota could pull it off.
And I don't see Minnesota. I think if Minnesota was going to give up on McCarthy, they would have already done it this season.
I just think it would be interesting.
It would be interesting for sure. I think they're going to give JJ another season at least.
Yeah, I do think Dallas should just stick with like Dak. I think Dak's just their guy at this point. Like, it's the same thing. Like, I think if they wanted to get better, they would have already traded Dak. Like, we've seen how ruthless. Like, if he wanted to make the trade, Jerry Jones would have already made the trade.
But is it that he hasn't? Maybe he hasn't made the trade yet because there's no one out there that's better. Like, for example, Dan won't agree with me, but if the Cowboys went out and traded Dak Prescott for Aaron Rodgers, they would have got worse.
No, yeah.
But like trading Dak Prescott for Joe Burrow, I think you could argue could make the Cowboys better.
They would get better.
And I don't think Cincinnati is getting a bad quarterback in Dak Prescott. Maybe Prescott's a guy that just needs to go, yeah, here we go, somewhere else. Because Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. When you watch this guy play, it's like, man, he does so many things right.
He does, yeah.
Like, truthfully, I am very disappointed again to see Joe Burrow being on another team that can't protect him again. I'd love to see him go to a team with a decent O-line.
Oh, for sure.
Because I think Joe Burrow, I have an unpopular opinion where I think Joe Burrow is as good as Josh Allen. I just don't think he's been on a team with a good enough O-line for him to show it. I think he might be the best pocket passer in the NFL.
The thing, too,
I said last year, Jacob, you know this because I told you this. Joe Burrow was my MVP last year. Even if they didn't make the playoffs, because they didn't, I still think Joe Burrow was the MVP last year, because I do think he was the best player in football last year. Despite how the Bengals season ended, they didn't make the playoffs, but he was dominant last year. Despite the record, despite how the rest of the team played, Joe Burrow was amazing last year. So I still think he was MVP last year, in my opinion. But
the only problem with Joe Burrow is the one thing, the word that starts with the letter I. Injuries.
I think that more has to do with terrible O-line. Doesn't he get sacked like more than any other quarterback?
Probably. He gets sacked at the rate of Andrew Luck. Like, him and Luck got like Joe Burrow has gotten sacked almost, I think, the same amount Luck has at this point in their careers.
So I look at it with Joe Burrow. If you put Burrow on a team that can protect him, I think Joe Burrow can turn a mediocre team into a Super Bowl contender because he drags the Bengals kicking and screaming that they want a juice box every game. But Dan, you had something you wanted to say. I don't want you to go back in. I don't want you to get so upset you put your hood over your whole face. So go ahead.
No, it's this hood just, kind of makes me rethink about the purpose of life. It's an amazing hood. I absolutely love it. But, what I was going to say is that you look at Josh Allen in the Buffalo Bills. I think one reason why Josh Allen gets the attention that he gets is because I can't say Buffalo's the mecca of football because it's not, but it is a big market city being close to the Canadian border and selling out every day and all that kind of thing, right? So you look at someone like Joe Burrow, let's face it, Cincinnati is nowhere near the mecca of football. If Joe Burrow played in a franchise team like the Dallas Cowboy or the Green Bay Packers, so I don't know, not that they're good now, but like the New York Jets, so Minnesota Vikings, Detroit Lions. He played with a team that got a lot of attention. I think Joe Burrow is kind of like the Nathan McKinnon of the NHL, right? We don't really compare. We forget about Nathan McKinnon because he's in Colorado sometimes.
I never forget about Nathan McKinnon.
But you know what I mean, right? A lot of people.
I totally know what you mean, though. I know what you mean.
I do agree with Key here, though. Even though Phillip Rivers lost, it's incredible that the man who had to tuck 10 children into bed the night before managed to play really strong football today and actually did give the Colts a chance to win. Considering he had played 5 years, like pretty damn remarkable. But no, I will say I think the
what has he been doing for 5 years? Has he been on the practice squad?
He's been making babies.
No, he's been coaching. He's apparently been coaching like a high school
football.
So why if they call him up at random? Why not just bring in like someone from college or something?
Or I saw Kaepernick. I saw Kaepernick's wife was getting really mad at the Colts for not calling Kaepernick instead of calling Rivers. And I'm like, at least Rivers has played a game.
Well, I'll just say it. I think one reason why Kaepernick wasn't called is because the coach probably want to save for drama.
All he does is whine. He's been whining since he hasn't been signed.
And we're not going to get into any of the political stuff involving that.
Well, of course. Why would I? I'm just saying he's been
because Dan's on the podcast.
I know. Well, I was just saying he was whining. I didn't say anything about the politics of it. Don't worry.
But I think another reason why too they went to Phillip Rivers is he is someone that somewhat knew the system already.
Right.
Like they were saying, he and the head coach
last place he played in 2020.
And apparently the coach and Rivers actually worked on playbooks together in the summer.
Right.
So it kind of I mean, I think the Colts are just grasping at anything to try to save their season. I feel so bad for Daniel Jones, to be honest. I thought he was having a really good campaign.
Oh, yeah. The Colts are having a great year, but all of a sudden he got injured. It's sad to see. What do you think, Lane? Do you think there's another quarterback we could have grabbed besides the Rivers? Or do you think he was the right choice?
I mean, there's plenty of guys. I just don't know if they're good enough. Like, you could argue Cam Newton. I don't know if Cam Newton makes a difference, but I mean, I'm with Jacob. I don't know. Just wouldn't call someone from the CFL, but again, we know they will never do that.
They won't.
I would have done that too.
Cam Newton's another one who's just been like I think he only did it once, but he was complaining about it as well. And I'm like, dude, the last time you played in the NFL, you also didn't particularly play all that great. And it's like, why would I get it? Like I understand why he would be confused on why nobody called him up, but I'm like,
Trevor Harris
he looked like a shell of he looked a shell of himself last time he played.
Yeah,
and it's like you can't why would they call you up? At least Rivers can stand in the pocket and just pass it at least. He won't pass it very far, but it's like.
But I'm kind of on what Lane was saying and what Lane and I were talking about another day. I don't remember if this was on the podcast or off camera or whatever. But why not call a guy like Trevor Harris who just won a Grey Cup and saying, "Hey, do you want to come and try to win a Super Bowl?"
Oh,
Like,
why not go the other way and
because-
call up Nathan York, who has been in 4 NFL training camps?
No, but to me, I look at it though, an experienced guy like Trevor Harris could just come in and learn a playbook.
Right.
And the guy's the most accurate passer in football. He can throw a ball deeper than Phillip Rivers can. I don't know. It's just one of those, it would never happen. But sometimes you wonder, why doesn't it happen? Like when you're in the NHL, you wouldn't call a goalie from,
because of ego.
I don't know, you wouldn't call Curtis Joseph to come save your season. You would look at the AHL and the ECHL if it was after trade deadline to try to find someone that you would bring in. But the NFL is like, no, we're the National Football League that doesn't play teams outside of America. Yeah, give me my beers. And let's call this 44-year-old guy who hasn't played football in 5 years. That makes more sense. And it's the attitude of NFL, and truthfully, it's this the way the NFL looks down on the Canadian Football League, which I will never understand it, because I'm still telling you, I don't care what anyone says, I've never seen a more accurate passer than Anthony Calvillo or a more dynamic quarterback than Damon Allen, and I don't care who you're talking about in the NFL. Right? Like, it's one of those things. And obviously, those guys, I wouldn't call them either. They're way too old. But I mean, like, why not call a Bo Levi Mitchell or a Trevor Harris or even Danson and Nathan Rourke, who's just recently been playing American-style football? And look, it's like, I think you could find better quarterbacks than Phillip Rivers. They're just not willing to go outside. Actually, perfect example. We all went to high school, right?
Yeah.
No.
No, Adam didn't. He was so good.
I didn't finish it, but I went.
You did finish it, Dan. It just took you longer.
I experienced it in the mall.
But
good for you, Dan.
Anyway,
thank you.
Lane, you went to high school, right?
Of course.
You remember how cliquey high school is, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
The NFL is like high school. They won't leave their little circle to go find talent outside of the circle. Where you look at the CFL, they look for talent everywhere to try to find something.
Even Australia.
Do I agree with the CFL being a minor league? I don't personally. I think it's still professional football, but hello, Wilder. Always good to hear from you. And it's a very different game than the NFL, but I'm sorry. I still think right now a good CFL quarterback is better than Phillip Rivers.
Well, you have in the NHL, you call up someone from the AHL, which is the minors, right? So even if you argue saying the CFL is the minor league, I still think it's a better move against someone that hasn't played in 5 years.
I would get it if it was
talking like a smart ass here, but I would really hope somebody playing in the CFL as like a quarterback at least would be better than a 44-year-old Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm thinking.
Adam, that's literally your point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and again, what Phillip Rivers did was impressive today.
Incredible game. Yeah, give him all the credit in the world.
That they were able to quickly bring him in and quickly he could take a very scaled back playbook. Mm-hmm. And sure, it's nice, it's cute, but do I think that he's even going to get them into the playoffs? No, I don't. Look at the Buffalo Bills when they went and got, this is a prime example in the comments here, and Doug Flutie.
Exactly,
right? Like Doug Flutie was a dynamic superstar that didn't fit the NFL archetype because he was a couple inches too short. It's not the size, it's how you use it. Most men know that. And it's one of those things of just I don't know why the NFL can't figure that out.
My comment was bad at the beginning. Okay.
Because yours was about Adam. I don't think about Adam by himself in his room, unlike you do, Dan. But Lane's just like, what did I miss?
Yeah, what did I miss?
Lane is very confused. It's okay, Lane.
But no, it's not me. And like, I'm not saying the CFL is more talent than the NFL. As much as I love the CFL, that would be a false statement.
Yeah. For
like, are the best NFL quarterbacks better than the best CFL quarterbacks? Yes. Josh Allen is better than Nathan Rourke. There's nothing to argue on that situation. However, do I think Nathan Rourke is better than Phillip Rivers? I don't think there's an argument in that situation. So it's just weird to me.
I just want to give an update, by the way, for our new Montreal viewers to the show. Montreal just beat Edmonton 4-1.
Nice. Oh, did you guys see Quinn Hughes scored? First game for Minnesota, first goal.
He did.
Also almost scored on his own net when he fell. But
yeah, that's funny. That sucks for him.
But I mean, overall, like, yeah, I mean, big ups to Montreal, big bounce back game for Jacob Dobas. Also, the Vikings have just taken a 17-14 lead over them Cowboys. Dak Prescott's not really doing much. He's only attempted 7 passes so far. Good lord.
He's attempted 13. He completed 7.
I don't know why my Google hadn't updated yet. It updated the score, but not the stats.
I do want to also shout out a great story from Fernando Mendoza winning the Heisman. He has a great story there, I think, at least. And it's like first Indiana quarterback to win the Heisman.
Oh, wow.
In like it's either a while or he is the first one. And they won the Big Ten, I want to say, for the first time since like 1946, I think, something like that.
That's pretty crazy.
Big shout out to him. Shout out to him.
100%.
Teams beat the Leafs, then let it down. Yeah, I do agree. It seems to happen. It's
of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Montreal, though, I think they got to feel good that they've had a couple decent starts from Fowler, and then they got a good start from Dobas. Maybe
I'm telling you, Montreal looks really good this year.
I still think Montreal needs a goal, needs a true starting goal.
We're not done yet. They got to make some moves on the trade deadline. I totally agree.
I think they need to make one move.
The cap hit with Patrick Laine. I'm not saying we're done yet, but boy, we're looking really good.
If I was the Leafs, I would seriously take a gamble on Patrick Laine and move one of my 3 starting goalies.
Yeah, I would.
You don't need 3 NHL goalies, realistically.
No.
And I do agree with Key here saying, heaven forbid any CFL player is better than any NFL player. And that is the attitude that's had in a lot of people. And again, I'm not saying that, for example, I think we could probably find some KHL players who are better than some NHL players.
Probably.
Right. Yeah, the KHL has a lot of good quality. It's also the fact, I do want to say, it's also the fact, especially a lot of their young talent is they're all locked up. And I know since COVID and stuff, they've really started to wanting to, because I think it was either Demidov or Michkov were offered. I think it was Michkov was offered an 8-year contract extension. I think it was Moscow to stay, he was going to stay there. And then he ended up, they ended up agreeing to allow him to go. But it's I know that's been a thing that they've been wanting to keep as many of their drafted prospects, young players there as long as they can, because they don't want to lose them to the States.
Of course, yeah.
Don't want them to go stateside, which makes sense, I guess, when you look at it. But
it does. But I mean, all I'm getting at is I think people forget how good these other leagues are. Right, even with everyone just looks at this one premium league. It's like the baseball in Japan. There's a lot of baseball players in Japan who are better than the guys in the MLB. I'm not saying Japan has the best baseball players in the world, but there are players that are in Japan who easily could be playing in the MLB if they wanted to.
Oh, on the junior side of things, we all say on the show how the OJHL is just almost as good as the OHL, right?
Oh, there's guys in the OJ that could play in the OHL. They just want more minutes.
They're really good.
100%.
And
Storff is out long term, so 100% Wilder. That's why you can't make that trade now. But I think what Jacob is saying is when Storff is back, you arguably got 3 NHL goalies.
And I agree with this comment too. Draisaitl can't be the only good German player, right?
Yeah, 100%.
These are really good players in Germany that we don't know about.
Right?
Stutzla's a stud.
Really good.
Yeah, I was just about to say, because I was so confused when you brought that up. I was like, wait, Tim Stutzla is German. I remember. I want to bring up something about Stutzla because I remember. I don't remember what year he was at the World Juniors, but I remember heading into Canada. Canada was playing Germany, and half of their team was out sick.
Yeah, I remember,
including Stutzla. But Stutzla ended up playing that game.
And he was
2018.
Germany got thumped. It was 10-2. Canada thumped them, but Stutzla looked great for somebody who was just coming back from being ill and missing their last game. And it's it shows, I think it does show Germany is very much growing now with talent, especially since Stutzla came into the league along with Draisaitl. I think Germany does have
JJ Peterka is German, I believe, too.
They're a very overlooked hockey. I think the same with Czechia at times.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, Czechia is a team in the World Juniors that always scares some people. Like they
especially like I think they're even
Latvia too.
overlooked.
Actually,
Like,
even Latvia's
like,
getting a lot better.
yeah, like I would say Czechia. Like I know because I remember the last 2 years when Canada's been eliminated, everybody's been like, "Oh my gosh, they've been eliminated by Czechia, and we should be knocking these guys out easily." I'm like, Czechia, like
they're good.
that's such a narrative you would see back in like the 80s before Yager came into the league, especially.
Well,
But
don't forget, Czechia was a part of the USSR. So technically, they were a part of Russia, but they didn't have their own hockey team, right? So it's not that Czechia is new at hockey. We just don't think of them because they didn't exist before.
Yeah. And I think they are so good now that I'm like, whenever I see stuff like that, I'm just like, guys, I'm like, Czechia, I think especially because Canada hasn't brought their best team the last 2 years. And I can't wait for this year's team because they've brought actually in the OHL's leading goal scorer now. Misa, though, is not hurt, guys. So we don't need to worry about Misa's just missing the start of training camp, but he will be there.
That's
which
good.
Is good to hear.
Lane,
But
you would probably know this. Isn't JJ Pachecchia German?
I'm pretty sure he is.
Probably.
I think Jacob said he was.
I think he is.
I'm pretty sure he is.
I'm like 99.9%.
Sportsnet, he's not, but I think he is.
I think Sportsnet's a bunch of lying doo-doo heads. I'm just kidding.
JJ is German. JJ Petreka is German.
That's what I thought.
But Wilder's pointing that out, dude.
Maybe he was born somewhere else.
No,
Well,
that's what I think
he was definitely born, Adam. I do agree with that.
Well, he may have been born.
Like dual citizenship, right? Because on Sportsnet, it doesn't say where his citizenship is, it says for birthplace. Look at William Nylander. William Nylander, technically born in Calgary, but he's Swedish.
He was born in Munich, Germany. I just looked it up.
Yeah,
if Wikipedia is correct, he was born in Munich, Germany.
I'm just glad he was born.
Yeah,
but Germany did beat Canada not that long ago. You are correct. Germany is one of those countries that they always seem to get one, at least in the World Juniors, they get one upset per turn.
We lost Lane.
Nico Strum's another German.
Here,
I'm pretty sure.
He just had to shut off his camera for a minute.
Okay.
Just Phil and
Germany
chill.
have a lot of good. I think Philip Grubauer German. I don't know why I feel like he's German for some reason.
You know what? I'm just gonna Google NHL German players.
I don't know why.
What a good idea. Yeah.
German, but for some
There's
reason,
Lane. We lost you for a second.
He once was lost, but now he's
Slovakia.
Okay. So
another
Leon
one
Draisaitl, Lucas Richel from Vancouver, which is we were talking about him in the show the other day. Nico Sturm, Tim Stützle, Philip Grubauer, Moit Seider. Our friend of the program, Max, was on the show. He'd be talking about him for the next hour. JJ Peterka, Krupp. Let me look for some Krupp. Let me look for some more. I think that's it right now for current players.
I think at least had a German prospect at one point, Miller or something.
I think.
But
they
what
have
I
a
mean
Finnish guy. That I know.
It's just kind of why I say, though, you do wonder why every league will look outside of their own league for talent except the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
The NFL is very like, if you didn't go to college, like if you look at Stiggers, who was in Toronto a couple years ago for the Argos, now he plays on the Jets, right? No one would give him a shot because he didn't play Division I, Division II, or Division III football. He played arena football. The Argos found him, brought him in, had an all-star season, was nominated for Rookie of the Year, and then went to the NFL and never looked back. So, like, maybe the NFL needs to start looking outside of just the one. It's kind of like hockey for the longest time. They only looked at the Canadian Junior Hockey League. And then it was Brian Burke who was one of the first one that really started going after some of these NCAA guys.
Exactly.
Excuse me. Maybe the NFL needs to do that, but reversing their Chevy Traverse, put that gear shift in R. Don't buy a Chevy Traverse.
Another one is basketball. Like basketball has really done a good job with their year. Like I would say,
Raptor started that.
Yeah. Well, I would even say I think what really pushed it was I want to say Dirk Nowitzki was like a big one. I think even before then there were some good players, but like Dirk Nowitzki was like. When you think of, I think, European at least me, like European basketball players, you think of Dirk Nowitzki.
You do.
Big guy. Like he's probably the best. I think Luka Doncic is getting up there. Same thing with Giannis. Like you think of these good.
Yep.
Like you think of the guys from the last 20 years who have been here and have shown their talent and I think it's a good, like Giannis, I think has a great story of how where he came from, especially because he's from Greece.
He was also
and how
born.
like his journey to coming to the NBA. Same thing with Pascal Siakam. Like I think it was Joel Embiid. Somebody didn't pick up a basketball until they were like 15 years old.
Oh, wow.
And it's like
that was actually Siakam.
Yes, Pascal Siakam. Yeah. Well,
And
and
look,
shout
now
out to
he's,
Masai Ujiri for
champion.
bringing basketball. I think bringing the NBA, and giving a good avenue to basketball in Africa. So shout out to Masai Ujiri.
He did a great job too.
Like he's done a great job with developing, bringing that avenue of these talented African players and opening that up more for the NBA. Because I think there were talented players from Africa before. But I think the avenue was really the river, the dam was broken by Masai for because for a long time you didn't really see NBA teams doing that. And Pascal Siakam, Giannis was a player Masai really wanted for the Raptors when he came in. It's good to see, but the NFL really needs to be and I feel like they're trying to do that with more games outside of the States. I don't think they're doing a good enough job.
But I think they need to not look at having the Jets play the Titans in Italy. They need to actually go out to the other countries.
That's what we had that.
Maybe literally go to the country that's right beside you with a professional football league and take a closer look at the talent there.
Imagine I had the Bills and Patriots game today in Italy. That would have been crazy.
By the way, big shout out to Josh Allen, who was literally vomiting on the sidelines and still played that well.
Oh, it was incredible what he did today.
I don't know if you guys saw that on social media.
I just want to give
he has mashed potatoes.
I just want to give a quick.
Josh Allen though is having his first kid though. That's big for him as well.
Yeah, congratulations to the Allen family. I'm sure he'll make a good papa.
Quick update too. Cowboys did tie up going in a halftime, so it's 17-17 at the moment.
How about them Cowboys? Like I said, they've already had a better season than last year. Hard to believe.
That's true.
Also, fun fact, the Steelers are on pace to be worse of Aaron Rodgers than what they were with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. I'd also like to point that out.
I love that.
Dan, have you bought your clown costume yet?
A-Rod was going to give
No, I still got faith.
You don't have faith.
Yeah, you
do. He does. He made a bet, Adam.
For a second.
Adam, he made a bet. If they don't finish over 500, he has to wear a clown outfit on the...
They got to win at least 10 games.
Or Dan has to
wear
a
clown outfit.
Or Dan has to wear a clown outfit.
Dan might need to order... Dan might be ordering this by Monday night.
You could order that. Yes.
Or Dan, maybe worst case, we'll just get you the set. You just got to get
No.
The face. It's got to be a costume. Got to be.
It's 100% polyester. It's only $24.99.
That doesn't sound comfortable at all.
I don't think it'll fit me.
Well, you better start eating less carbs.
Yeah.
Well, that'll fit you.
Lane's like, I'll make it.
Slimming down to wear a costume.
But dude, the package only includes the coat and pants. There are no hats, masks, wigs, bags, or other accessories.
What?
Yeah, well,
the clothes is made of polyester cloth, bright colors, and it's eye-catching.
He's got to paint his face.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Dan's got to spend a lot of money on.
Dan Key's scared. I think Key's going to be wearing a hood the way you do soon.
Yeah.
Because if the Steelers don't win tomorrow, they can't win 10 games.
Well, guess what?
No, it's no guess. It's just it's numbers don't lie. We went
over this a lot. Are you going to lie to the fans, Dan?
Yeah, Dan.
Maybe we can get you one at Value Village.
Yeah, probably. That'd be even funnier if he gets one from Value Village. To be fair,
well, they sell a lot of them on Amazon.
I love Value Village.
Hey, here, I'll share my screen again. And let's look at some clown outfits for Dan, because they're probably going to lose to the Dolphins.
Actually, it was someone else who was going to wear the clown costume.
You said you would as well. So We're not going to mention that person, but we could get Dan a kid's clown costume.
Oh yes, yeah. Let's do that. That'd be so.
A jail clown costume. Just don't drop the soap.
Oh, I
Damn.
want to see Diddy.
Or we could just get you a Santa suit instead.
No.
Damn.
Oh my gosh! Let's get Dan this one.
I want the Diazol.
Yes.
No, here you go, Dan.
Yes. Gotta get the.
Dude, be here by tomorrow.
What? Yes.
They only have 4 left. Who's buying these?
Everybody, apparently. They're getting prepared for Halloween.
All these people that are like, oh, I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be good this year.
Yeah. Everybody put a bet on it. It wasn't just Dan.
Yeah, because the Steelers are sitting at 7-6 right now with 3 games left. So they literally have to win out. Wait, no, they have 4 games left, so they can lose 1. They got the Dolphins, the Lions, the Browns, and the Ravens.
I still got faith.
What was their record last year, anyways? We're probably going to wrap up soon here, ladies and gentlemen.
10-8, I think.
So
10-7.
last year, the
Won 10.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow, the Chiefs were 15-2 last year. Good lord,
Yeah.
they sucked this year. I love that the Chiefs are mathematically eliminated. I'm sorry. I feel
Me
bad for
too.
Chief fans, but I also don't. Because it's like, look, you've been good for too long. Shut up.
I was just about to say, why feel bad for them?
Yeah, the Steelers were 10-7, and actually, let's do some more math here. Is the offense itself better with Aaron Rodgers than what it was with Justin Fields and Russell Wilson?
I don't think so.
Dan, what do you think? Are they better or worse with
Probably
Aaron
worse.
Rodgers this year?
Probably worse of Aaron Rodgers this year.
So they had 380 total points last year, and divide that. They scored 22 points a game last year, which is not very good.
Well, at least they hit double digits, you know.
Well, the offense was so far has been slightly better with Aaron Rodgers.
Let's go, Aaron
is
Rodgers.
averaging 23 points a game.
Good for you, Aaron. You're slightly better.
Oh, that tree bark.
Than the
I
guy
say it, they
you.
just should have started Mason Rudolph.
He
He had a good preseason.
did. Yeah.
That would have been funny. Aaron Rodgers, future Hall of Famer, start back up to Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh
black
my
girl,
God.
you're making fun of Rudolph.
Well, hey, maybe after he retires, he'll come back after 5 years.
Oh, Key doesn't think Dan's going to have to wear the clown suit.
Yeah.
If the Steelers don't make the playoffs, does Mike Tomlin get fired?
No,
No.
I still think they'll
I
keep
think
him.
so.
I'd fire him.
Mike Tomlin has something over the owners.
Yeah.
He's holding something over them at this point.
I don't know who the GM is there, but maybe you fire the GM for thinking that Aaron Rodgers is going to save your team.
Yeah, this is just straight
Screw
up
it, Joe
incompetence.
Burrow to the Steelers.
Oh my gosh, that would be
Legitimately,
hilarious.
with that defense, they'd be good.
Amazing.
They'd
Oh
be,
yeah, no, they would be slinging.
I
it.
think Joe Burrow on most teams turns them into a contender. think
Oh, I
it's fair to
agree.
say. No, that was the happiest moment of the whole day. Bye-bye, Chiefs. Yeah, I will say it. I mean, you know what? I don't like Patty Mahomes, but it does suck for him to get injured at the end of the game, and that's how they basically lose.
Was
their
he
season.
really injured, bro? I think he has to
Yes,
on a
Dan, he
ball
was
and eliminate his
injured.
season.
No, Dan. I don't like Mahomes, but he's tough. I don't like him. Like, I really don't like him.
Yes, Jacob, as you keep reiterating.
Like, if I saw him on the side of the road needing help changing a tire, I wouldn't pull over. I'd pull over for Lane.
Jeez. Oh,
But I
Damn,
wouldn't pull over
damn,
for
Jacob.
Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes can afford to call a tow truck.
I would have changed the tire or
yeah.
given him my CEA card.
This goes to show the difference between Dan Campbell and Lou. You'd be fired in a heartbeat, but they give a kidney to the other. Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
You know what? I think the Raiders should trade for Joe Burrow to finish
Oh
two.
my god, that would be so interesting.
Because you know what? I thought it was so weird. I thought Geno Smith was actually going to make them like good.
Yeah,
I mean, Kenny
me too.
Pickett was absolutely terrible this week.
I know.
I didn't see it because
He
that
finished
team is just
15
so
for
bad.
25, 64 yards and an interception. It
Like
was
the Raiders
terrible.
are just a joke. Like they're just so bad.
Yeah, but weren't they like? I even thought that Geno Smith was the answer.
I did. He had a great year in Seattle last year.
When the Seahawks got rid of him, I'm like, really? I'm like, he's pretty good. Seahawks just seem to know when to get rid of a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't get that.
He did the same thing with Russell Wilson.
Well, you could see Russell Wilson.
Right.
His decline was coming. You could see that.
It's the decline.
It's the decline. It's the decline.
It's the climb. Yeah. But yeah, crazy day in the NFL. But I think maybe before
Wilson was just getting into his true form when he was declining. He was becoming the true Russell Wilson. It was who he was this whole time.
But we also had an interesting day in the NHL. I see you know what? I'll let you have your go, Chiefs. Hopefully you're better next
coming
year.
back, Leaf Man 2020.
Yeah, thanks for coming back, Leafs Man 222.
222.
You're a Leaf fan, so we'll let it slide. I'm just kidding. Everyone can have their own opinion at the desk. But also in the NHL today, we saw the Canucks. Apparently, they're fine without Quinn Hughes because they won 2-1 over the Devils. So there you go. They don't need Quinn Hughes anymore.
The other Hughes couldn't get it done.
Exactly. I was thinking.
Continues to blow leads. They were up. They allowed 4 goals in the third period to then lose in overtime 5-4 to Utah.
Hey, you know what? They came back and at least went to overtime. You know what?
That's still unacceptable.
It's still unacceptable, but at least they didn't like just straight up lose 4-3 and like at least they got a point, I guess. But even that's not very good.
Carolina continues to be setting the standard in the East with another big win over the Flyers.
Yeah, big one.
Good for you, Carolina.
Okay, here we go. Hey, remember when you asked the birthing of the analyst desk you guys wanted to do? We can still do some music reviews. I would absolutely love to break down some albums.
There are some.
Dan do it with a passion.
I know Dan is working with a personal close friend of his on some new content coming up.
Yeah, there is some big news coming up on the analyst decks this month. All kinds of crazy things happening. So definitely between this month and January, as they start the new year. As January 6th will be our anniversary. So stay tuned for that.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, is Dan about to release an album?
Yes.
A rap album? A gangster rap album?
Actually, I have a little announcement about that, but we'll talk about that at the end of the show.
What, Jacob? You're releasing a gangster rap album?
Not gangster, but I am working on a new project. But this is an interesting one here about Cameron Dukes. In the
we wanted to talk about that.
So apparently, Cameron Dukes was getting death threats.
People be crazy
when he was in Toronto.
Man. Is the mafia was the mafia after Cameron Dukes for whatever?
Are they seeing people threatening Mitch Marner?
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, apparently, and just reading it, Dukes was on a podcast, and he said, "I'm telling you,
come on our podcast anytime."
He said, "I'm telling you from somebody that never had to worry about the media. I came from a small school, dude. It's the first time I ever looked at that. I'm getting death threats. I'm getting people talking about hanging my parents. And I'm getting this in my box. And guess what? I still got the screenshots, baby."
That's crazy. Hanging somebody's parents over
the weird thing was of Cameron Dukes, too, number one. From what I saw from the fan base, people really liked him. So I'm really surprised.
Liked him.
Like, he seemed like a guy that people really wanted to like. And you know what, too? I talked to him on social media a couple of times. Super nice guy. And I thought he looked good in Toronto in a small sample size. I mean, Nick Arbuckle did eventually take over the starting role, but I thought Cameron Dukes did his job, made the plays he needed to make, and gave the Argos a chance to win in a lot of games.
100%. I saw a theory where somebody thought it may have been somebody who was like running like a betting ring or something, and I was like, but like, why go after Cameron Dukes though? Like, he didn't play, like he wasn't a starter, like a starter for a while is what I mean. But like, he didn't.
I think that's when the fights were happening.
Yeah, that's got to be crazy. Like, that's crazy though to threaten a backup quarterback, like after he had played like
third string quarterback, not even backup.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
And I mean, he said too, and just to kind of quote some more from his interview, he said, "I'm building to what I think is a career here in Toronto because of what I'm doing, what I'm giving for the organization, what I'm putting into it. Just feels right for me to be here because I'm putting into it. I go out, I'm producing, and then you have one bad game, and it's like everybody completely forgets you were the whole entire time and creates a different script, he remarked. So it's kind of like, I believe this is referencing the 5 interception game against the Rough Riders, which was pretty bad, but he shouldn't be killed over it.
No one's to be killed.
I do want to say this kind of right off the hop. If you're giving players death threats, I think you need to reevaluate your life.
You also take sports way too seriously. Like you're taking
and that's coming from us.
Yeah, you're taking a game like, and I will say, because I've said this all the time, I feel like especially after like the World Juniors, like people take sports a little bit too seriously for my liking, because it's like, why are you sending threats to like professional athletes? Like that's crazy. Like I know they get paid, and I know a lot of people have the opinion that athletes should be able to take this stuff, but I'm like, if you start threatening their families, like it's a little different when you're just threatening them, because I feel like a lot of them just take it. But when you go in and start threatening like their families and like their kids, like you've crossed a line that's like you don't
agree.
do that. Like you don't threaten to hang somebody's parents
No,
over the way they play. Over like it's a game, guys. Like this is a game that kids play. Like this is like not something that should be ruining your day. Like I like the Leafs losing sucks. I hate it. I think anybody would, but it's like I like just like I go to sleep and like I wake up the next day. Am I frustrated? Yeah, but I'm not going to go ahead and go on Instagram and DM Austin Matthews a death threat because I'm not crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy.
You're really like crazy.
So Lane, in your crazy spout, would you do that?
No, I've done stupid. Fun fact. I swung a baseball bat at a tree and broke my arm when the Ticats, when they were in the Grey Cup and they lost on that punt return. I was so mad with my Ken Griffey baseball bat. I swung at a tree and I broke my arm. Put my arm in a cast.
Oh my god!
However, you still did not send anyone a threat.
No,
so Lane,
I just harmed myself.
Well, self-harm's not good either, people.
I'm kidding.
Self-harm's not good.
But like what we're kind of getting at, and I really appreciate the comment, Leafs man 222.
Great comment.
It's bizarre. I still find it crazy to me. And look, I don't like Mitch Marner. I think I've made that very clear on these shows. I think him getting death threats was stupid. Like, I don't know why you're going to threaten to kill.
Did he get them though? Do we believe that?
Yeah, Stan, I believe it. We're not going to get into it.
Why would he lie about that? Like, what would be the benefit of him lying?
Him lying about it. But
yeah,
I look at it though, and it's like at the end of the day, if you
lays with me.
If you want to say this guy sucks, if you want to say get a real life, if you want to criticize their play on the ice, that's one thing. If you want to threaten them or their parents or their kids or their dog or their third cousin twice removed or whatever, then I think you need to look yourself in the mirror, which I have a mirror right across to me, so I can just be like, and really evaluate like what's wrong with your head. Like, especially I'm not being awful. Like,
what's in your head?
If you're that upset about it, then maybe you're taking sports a little too seriously, and that's coming from a self-proclaimed sports analyst.
Yeah,
like, which is even crazier because I remember when it came out and people were like, nobody was threatening Mitch Marner, and I'm like, guys, but even if there was fake death threats, that's one thing. But he also just had like a baby at the time of him leaving, and at the time of the threats coming out, he had a baby and a wife who just given birth. Like, of course, the guy's gonna take extra, like he's gonna take this stuff extra serious, whether it was fake or not. Like, you have to take that stuff seriously, especially when you have kids.
But here's a very interesting comment from Key about this. But maybe these guys need to stop going public about these threats. It goes public, the main predator gets caught, but here's the thing, someone else wants to be the superstar copycat. That is an interesting point.
A great point.
Would more people continue to do these death threats if they weren't getting the attention? It's kind of like
it's always going to come out.
But it's kind of like how some media outlets get criticized for releasing serial killers stuff. And I'm not comparing a death threat on Instagram to being a serial killer, but it is kind of the same. This is a weird episode, but it's kind of taking the same context where it's giving them their 15 minutes of fame. And maybe that is a problem. So, Key, that is an interesting outlook on it. And I mean, by the way, Dukes did continue to say how much he enjoyed playing in Toronto and he appreciated his chances
Well, he
in
wasn't
Winnipeg
slamming the city of Toronto
and
anyway.
Montreal and wasn't slamming the CFL whatsoever.
No, he wasn't.
But like he says, he still hopes to play again. But if not, he hopes he gets a chance to coach.
But I will say this though, I feel like,
Say it, Adam.
and I get the point where it's like maybe they shouldn't come out with it, but being how public a lot of these, like given who they are, like I feel like whether they want these things to come out or not, they're gonna come out. Like if they report it to the police, like it's going to come out whether they want it to or not.
True.
And I feel like just telling the public by themselves so it comes out in a way that they want it to come out, if you know what I mean.
That's a good point.
Like it's better than that coming out than the police, like, or somebody leaking it to the media and being like, look at this. Like, and then people saying, why the hell isn't Mitch Marner talking about this in public? And it's like, well, because you guys were going to tear him apart either way. And it's like, and I did never understand why athletes get, like, even some of them even get flack for saying they got death threats. And it's like, why are you giving them flack for getting threatened to be killed?
Right, that's true too.
Yeah, it is weird. I gotta agree with you, Adam. And like, look, I always say it. You can be mad at the athlete, but don't threaten the actual human beings. At the end of the day, everyone's a human. Even I remember when Jake Gardner had that game on the Leafs where he was a -5 against Boston. I don't think he should have been killed. I just think the Leafs should have got rid of him. Shouldn't die over it, right? And it's one of those. You know, Stuart Skinner faced similar things in Edmonton. I don't think he deserved to die. They just traded him, right? Yeah. So it's at the end of the day, no one should be sending people death threats, especially for a sport.
Poor Jake Gardner never recovered after that game. His whole NHL career just was the end. I mean, I know he did go to Carolina after, but due to injuries and stuff, it just never picked up the same way.
Yeah, it sucks for him. Like, I always liked
because he was a good defenseman overall.
Yeah. He just had one bad game, and then just like his whole career is remembered by that one game.
Yeah, literally.
Remember. Yeah, it's one of those things that kind of sucks.
That's why just big shout out too to Nito Niederreiter getting the silver stick, being the first Switzerland-born player to get a silver stick in 1,000 games. And sometimes we kind of take 1,000 games for granted. But look at Jake Gardner, for example. He only played 645 games due to the Game 7 collapse and his injuries and stuff. So there's a lot of good. And Jake Gardner overall is a pretty decent hockey player. There's a lot of tremendous hockey players that do not play 1,000 games. And I think we kind of take that for granted. So huge shout out for Niederreiter for doing it. And it goes to our conversation before of looking for players outside of just your typical spots to find them, right? They found him in Switzerland. So maybe the NFL needs to do more things like that. I like him too. He's a great player.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's great to see these kinds of players. I don't remember who, because I remember, I think it was last year or the year before, somebody else got to 1,000 games and somebody was like, this guy sucks. And he's like, how did he get to 1,000 games? I'm like, nobody in the NHL is like, you can say is bad.
No.
Because like no NHL player plays 1,000 games without being a good hockey player. Like you can't be in the NHL for that long because you're in the NHL for a decade plus at that point. Like there's no way a team keeps signing you and keeps you in the NHL for that long unless you're a good hockey player.
Well, look at those Islander teams a few years ago that made it to the third round every year. It was because of their identity line. Now it's their fourth line identity line. And a lot of people say, oh, it's just Matt Martin and Ryan Suikas.
Oh, shout out. Yeah, I think that's how you say it. Cizikas.
Cizikas. And I forget who the left. Oh, and the Kyle Clutterbuck. And people are like, oh, they're just fourth line players, blah, blah, blah. But they made that whole Islander team better.
Shout out Matt Martin, though.
I love that guy.
Leafs legend, Matt Martin.
I love that guy.
Whenever I think of somebody who was on that fourth line for the Leafs in those 2017 playoffs against the Caps, I think of the double OT game winner from Leafs legend Kasperi Kapanen with.
Yep.
Leafs legend Matt Martin out there on the ice.
Who's that?
You know, you got.
I've actually clicked it on. Here's a Christmas.
I saw that. I started laughing on the inside. I'm like, I gotta keep serious here. You know what? I gotta get through my point.
And speaking of the holidays, happy Hanukkah to our viewers to celebrate. Today is the first day of Hanukkah, and rest in peace to the horrible thing that happened in Australia a couple of days ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
But shout out Matt Martin also for you know what? I'm getting away from for the very serious comment for the very serious comment because I feel like I'm going to say something stupid if I continue on that path there. So you know what? I'll go back to something else. Matt Martin, shout out Matt Martin and his family for taking in Matthew Schaefer.
Yeah,
that's cool.
His daughters, Matt Martin's daughters, are absolutely adorable though.
Oh,
are they as adorable as Lane though?
I don't know.
Lane's nasty.
That's
okay,
hard.
But Lane's also adorable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's hard to say, Some tough competition with Lane,
Oh, sir.
Like Lane, you are very adorable.
Compliments. Little Lane has to turn off his camera every time he's getting compliments.
He starts to blush.
He's just blushing too much.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But I figure before we sign off for tonight,
we didn't talk about all the hockey games. Well, Jacob, maybe you want to continue that, or want me to continue?
Oh, sure, we can. I thought we did talk about all the games pretty much. There was only 4.
No, it's 6.
Bruins game we didn't talk about.
Well, the Bruins got their butts kicked by the Wild, even with Quinn Hughes trying to score on his own net.
He gave his first goal on the opposite net for Minnesota, which was good.
That's true.
Also, big shout out to the Canadiens getting a nice 4-1 victory over the Oilers. If only the Leafs could have done the same thing. Calvin Pickard allowing 4 goals on 27 shots. That's why I don't know if getting Tristan Jarry is going to... I don't know. Time will tell with that Tristan Jarry trade because I still think they also might need a backup. And the Buffalo Sabres are currently up 2-1 over the Seattle Kraken. Comment here from Key. The Jays will be remembered for the ball in the wall. Unfortunately, I wish not. It's true. That is the World Series that's going to be remembered for that play.
And what happened in the playoffs? It wasn't World Series. What happened in the playoffs in 2015 as well with the Jays?
We them Jays. At the end of the day, though, I say about the Jays the same thing I say about the Leafs in 93. They could have just won Game 7.
That's true.
They win Game 7. No one's talking about the ball in the wall. Right?
Shout out to the ball in the wall. Shout out to the ball in the wall, guys.
Shout out to Alex Tuck with 2 assists tonight, who I still think the Leafs should make a trade for.
Who got 2 assists?
Alex Tuck.
Buffalo Sabres legend, Alex Tuck.
Yeah, and Vegas legend, too, before that. Let's see. Buffalo's up 2-1 against the Kraken at the moment. That game almost ending.
But yeah, some interesting, not a lot of games in the NHL on Sunday, as there's usually not, because truthfully, they don't want to compete against Sunday and Monday football, which is why Sunday and Monday are usually quieter days. And then you'll see like Tuesday, Fridays, and Saturdays, there's a lot of games. And because people go, oh, the CFL doesn't play on Sundays because the NFL. It's like, so does so many other leagues. Here's another CFL question. Bo Levi, good signing or no?
Oh, good.
I'd say it was.
No.
You say no, Lane?
Lane, you are adorable, but why do you think it's a bad signing?
Because what have they done with, they really haven't done much with them.
Wow.
I mean, they got to the Eastern Finals.
And got their butts kicked.
They lost by
that's
3.
Well, not butts kicked. It was a close game.
I will say, though, the offense was very underwhelming in that game. I think the problem... So Lane, would have you liked to see Hamilton go get, Trey Ford and try to change something up? Like, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think something's got to change in Hamilton.
Maybe they need to move the team to Burlington. Start that rumor again. That made people so angry.
Yeah, maybe a lot of that.
You know what, though? Now that I live in Hamilton and work in Burlington, I understand it.
Yeah,
Hamilton's a completely different city than Burlington, completely different culture. Mm-hmm. And Hamiltonians, that's the right wording. Yeah, we're going to go with that. They do not see themselves as a part of Burlington. Key says great signing.
Yeah,
well,
I think
at this point, the only way I wouldn't have brought back Bo Levi Mitchell, and I might get some flack in the comments here, is if I traded for a guy like Nick Arbuckle.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if I think
Nick
I maybe
Arbuckle.
could have got someone who fits my offensive scheme better, which Nick Arbuckle is more of a chip and chase your way down the field, and Bo Levi Mitchell is 80-yard pass, go gadget football kind of player. The East loss is not just Bo's fault. Very true.
Yeah,
I do agree with that. But I also get what Lane is saying. At the end of the day, which Key is shocked by this. We got a shocked emoji. But at the end of the day, Bo Levi Mitchell also wasn't the solution, right? That game, he was pretty quiet.
Thanks to all the emojis, the likes, the comments, the subscribers for sharing. They all help a lot. Yeah, we all help a lot of the algorithm, and I know it's annoying, but the more we can build the algorithm, the more we can do for you. So thank you very much.
I'll do
You, the
anything
audience.
for love, but I won't do
more?
that.
Who doesn't want more from Dan, you know?
Oh,
He is more for your money.
Woo!
But Lane, do you get what I'm saying about the Bo Levi Mitchell signing?
I still disagree.
So you feel no matter you would have rather them make Taylor Powell the starter next year than Bo Levi
Yeah,
Mitchell.
the guy doesn't even get along with the coach. Why do we want this guy?
Well, that's a good point too. They don't get along.
Him and the coach literally hate each other. They fight like. And at the end of the day,
Meatloaf indeed. Thank you, Key.
Like they were married, like a married couple.
Love hate.
Oh, Minnesota is now down 17-20.
Oh, and that's a new viewer, isn't it?
Welcome to the desk. I believe you are a new viewer to the show.
Welcome.
So welcome to the desk. Always appreciate to have you.
Dan, you always sound so like a child, like meeting a new person or something. You're always
it's exciting. It's exciting, expanding the network.
Oh, yes, of course.
Key of networking.
Some big words.
Yeah.
So if Minnesota loses today, they're done, right?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
They are.
100%.
I thought they were already done.
But aren't the Cowboys also basically done if they lose today?
Yeah.
Aren't the Cowboys already done?
No, they're not mathematically
They
still
lose their
alive.
1% chance.
But, like, you know what I mean by...
So you're saying there's a chance? Yeah, Dak Prescott has now thrown over 200 yards. So I mean,
tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't know.
Here we go.
I just looked at Hamilton. I'm like, yeah, okay, they had a good record, but how many games did they win because they got lucky? I'm not even trying to be rude about it. Half the games they won were because they happened to get one lucky pass, and maybe that is because of Bo Levi Mitchell. But I didn't think that team.
You got to be good to be lucky, and lucky to be good, right?
That's my line.
Yeah,
like they were able to make the plays. The CFL is all about last minute heroics, and they were able to.
But they weren't consistent in the games.
I do agree with you there. I do think there was some inconsistency issues.
Like I knew that team wasn't going to go far.
I know you did call that.
Crazy.
Yeah, you called it right at the beginning of the season because I even thought it felt like 1999, and you were like, "Nah, B."
You can't win a Grey Cup. You don't win a Stanley Cup being lucky. You win a Stanley Cup being consistent. Saskatchewan was going to win the Grey Cup because all year Saskatchewan was the same team week in, week out, game in, game out. They look like the best team. There's a reason why they won the Grey Cup.
Minnesota would be 5. Yeah, Minnesota would be 5-9, and Dallas, if they lose, would be 6-7-1.
6-7.
Oh my gosh, my nephew started doing that this weekend. He came in and I said somebody said 6-7, and he started doing it.
No, Dodgers. Oh, that's unique.
I almost dodged that comment and realized I Hey, you know what, Leafs man? You're a Chiefs fan and a Dodgers fan, but you're still welcome at the desk. Don't worry.
100%.
You know what?
100%.
But yeah, it's interesting to see here, though. In this one, I mean, it looks like McCarthy's having a decent game, but I mean, he's got a rushing touchdown, he's got a passing touchdown.
Let's go, JJ.
But he's also got an interception.
Oh my gosh, JJ.
However, when he got his rushing touchdown, he did a cute little dance.
Oh, good for you. Good for him.
It was better than Dan's dance.
Oh.
David, if he's still watching with us, he must be very happy. He loves to see Dan dance. But yeah, interesting one here for both of these teams between the Vikings and the Cowboys. I think they both pretty much have to win out.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Minnesota need like a lot. Like Dallas also need help, not just win out. They need
help.
get
Dallas is considered in the bubble. Actually, the Vikings have been eliminated. You guys are correct. My apologies.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Dallas is kind of in that same situation as the Dolphins. They have a slim chance.
Oh, okay.
I don't see Dolphins doing it, though.
Honestly, I'm going to call it. I think the Dolphins have a better chance than like the Panthers.
Yeah.
What is the Dolphins' record?
6-7. 6-7.
Well, Carolina's 7-7, so you know what? Better.
Yeah, I understand they have a better record, and I don't know if anything is better than
that should be a rule this year in the NFL. If you get a 6-7 record, you make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think I just more mean. I think the Dolphins have more talent than the Panthers. Like I think the Dolphins have a better chance of winning out than the Panthers do.
What do you think that Bryce Young isn't better than Tua Tagovailoa?
It depends. Is Tua concussed? Like, can he stand? Because lately he's been playing well. I mean, look, to say what you want about the Dolphins, they've gone on a really, really solid run of late.
They have. They were like what 2-7 at one point, and now they've won 4 games in a row.
I think they lost their opening like 4 games of the year. Like they were
bad. They were too powerful.
I stand by my comment. If Tua Tagovailoa didn't get so many concussions, that guy was going to be a franchise quarterback. But unfortunately,
100% he would have been. He's a great player, skill wise.
Just too many injuries.
I still think Bryce Young's going to be that. I still think Bryce Young could be like that guy for Carolina. I just think it's taken him a little bit more time, but he's shown the flashes of being able to be that guy.
By the way, Tua this year so far has completed 66.9% of his passes, 2,407 yards, 18 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. Like not great, but like if you look at his numbers of late, he is playing better, right? So I don't know. But interesting question here, and then we'll get to some more comments. Is Chad Kelly going to play next year?
No.
Mike Miller. Sorry, go ahead, Lane. I mean, Adam, whoever you are.
Lane was talking too.
Yeah, sorry if I interrupted somebody. Lane, I mean. But like, I personally just think at this point, I can't see it because there's a reason he wasn't activated last year. And I don't think he's able to protect himself like he used to. Like, I think even if he's at 100%, he's not going to be the same. Like, he's not going to be able to run the same, especially coming off this injury. And I just don't think, A, I don't think it's worth it. And B, I just think we should have Nick Arbuckle starting.
So Mike Miller has said he wants Chad Kelly to be the starter this year, the new head coach of the Argos. And
I was going to say.
The thing is, though, I want to talk about Damon Allen here for a second because Damon Allen had the exact same injury as Chad Kelly. He took a season off, and then the next year was second in the CFL in rushing and second in the CFL in passing.
Oh, a great point. I forgot.
So it really depends on conditioning. We have a More For Your Money fan in the chat. Well, always good to hear from you.
Yeah.
But Lane, Mr. Dashko, the dashingest man alive. What are your thoughts on this?
Chad Kelly's going to play, and it's going to be a mistake because I think it should be Nick Arbuckle.
Ooh.
Dan, you are a Chad Kelly stan. When I hear the song Stan, I think of you driving off a bridge because Chad Kelly didn't answer write you a letter back because he's too young and uses email. But what's
not that old.
What's your thought on this?
I love Chad Kelly. I'm a Chad Kelly super fan. I loved him when he was the Argos backup to Jacob. Backup to
Bethel Thompson.
Thank you, Bethel Thompson. And he was the sole yardage guy. He did come in when we were down in the Grey Cup game and got the victory done. I love Chad Kelly. I also love Nick Arbuckle, funny enough. Back in that weird year when we had Bethel Thompson and Arbuckle, the second time when we had Nick Arbuckle, I actually felt like Nick Arbuckle should have been the starter over Bethel Thompson. I probably got backlog one because Bethel Thompson did make us to the Grey Cup, but I'm a real fan of both quarterbacks at this point. I get that Chad Kelly's a sexier option. You know, he's younger. He's got the swagger. He's a franchise quarterback. I get all that. But Nick Arbuckle, I think he literally earned the position that he has. He came in and won the Grey Cup as well as a backup the whole game. He is a true family man, very low key, very confident. You know, it's no controversy with Nick Arbuckle, right? We're not going to get into the whole thing, but there is controversy with Chad Kelly. Good and bad. He's always in the media. He's always in the face. And like coming back to Cameron Duke's comment, we know that Toronto's a big media place and a lot of attention. And do you really want someone like Chad Kelly facing the music with that versus Nick Arbuckle? It's going to be no controversy. He's going to go. His wife's going to go to the games. His kids are going to go to games. I've seen Nick Arbuckle's wife at the games. I've never talked to her, but they look like because I want to respect them, this doing the thing, but they look like a great, beautiful, lovely family. And I love Chad Kelly, but I think of all the controversy and the injury, I think Nick Arbuckle earned his spot, and I think Nick Arbuckle should be the starter. However, they did hire Mike Miller, and Mike Miller was the guy that kept Chad Kelly calm. And when Chad Kelly did have disaster in the playoffs 2 years ago, that was the one game when Mike Miller could not be the coach. So I think Mike Miller is the way coach to Chad Kelly. They did go off and hire him. So because of that, I think Chad Kelly will be the starter. And I really hope he plays extremely well. Just in the process, I feel really bad for Nick Arbuckle because I think Nick Arbuckle is not really the best short yard quarterback. And I think Nick Arbuckle is too good to be a backup. That comes to my argument before, as I mentioned in other episodes here, we'll talk about again some point here on the decks. The CFL really needs more than 9 teams. They need a 10th team. We see a lot of progress in CFL going, wasting the salary cap, adapting the new app, getting TV deals. Every TV does a lot of swings going for adding the new rule changes. It's a lot of swings to the CFL. I really think we're at a point now we desperately need that 10th team, and Nick Arbuckle could be a starter for that team, possibly.
I mean, Nick Arbuckle could be a starter in Hamilton or Saskatchewan if neither one of those quarterbacks play a full season at their age with potential injury issues. But my thoughts is I think it should be don't announce a starter yet. Whoever wins the job wins the job.
I agree.
And two, Chad Kelly hasn't even been completely cleared yet, so we don't know if he can play or not.
True.
So,
like I said, it's a question. Does Chad Kelly going to play next season? That was the question when Leaf Man 222. I guess we don't know because he's not cleared yet. That's really the answer to the question.
Yeah, it's personally, I would have cut Chad Kelly and used the salary available to bring in Brady Oliveira and another offensive lineman to try to fix your running game, because the running game was atrocious last year. Now, unless they feel Spencer Brown has the potential to be that guy, he was very good last season. So,
he did finish the year nicely. I really liked him. And same with that guy with biggest name Williams, who ended his eye in Ottawa. If he didn't get injured in that Ottawa game, he probably could have finished the year very strong too, because he started the year weak. But I think the Ottawa game was his 4th or 5th game, and he looked really good before his injury.
But you know what? It's going to be an interesting time in the CFL next year. As crazy as it sounds, free agency is not that far away. CFL free agency
we'll be talking
is one of the
all about
craziest times. The winter meetings in the Canadian Football League are only in a couple weeks. I believe it's January. I think it's like the second week of January. So that's closer than you think. The Sabres ended up winning 3-1, by the way. Excuse me. But time will tell what happens there. Also, Vikings are now up 24-23 over the Cowboys.
Wow, what a game.
And have the football.
Wow.
I think if the Cowboys lose this game, sorry, Adam?
Because I said you forgot to mention that. So I thought I would mention it for you.
I appreciate you.
Listen.
I appreciate you too, Jacob.
I love you and I respect you. Listen. Another one. But because I maybe my math is wrong, but I'm pretty sure if the Cowboys lose today, they're mathematically eliminated.
They are. Yeah.
I think they're done.
The playoff picture is getting clearer by the hour in the National Football League that doesn't leave America. Well, it leaves America, but just to have 2 bad teams play football in Italy. That's actually a weird thing for me. If you're gonna do these big games in Italy, why isn't it like the Bills versus the Chiefs? Like send over like a game that should be not like the Jets versus the Raiders. Like no one.
Why are you even doing a game in Italy? Like that is such a weird.
They did a game in Italy this year. I'm not crazy.
No, I'm
right?
just saying like why do a game in Italy? Because I feel like when you say football's coming, people are gonna just think you mean soccer.
Yeah.
Literally. Like I just really don't think they're gonna hit a market there.
No,
I just don't think they're going to hit the market they think they're going to hit there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thing key, though, I think Bryce, and referencing Bryce Young, is finding himself, though, when Tua comes off as panicky sometimes.
I think he did the same thing in Alabama, though. Like, I think I think he came off as panicky in Alabama. It was just covered by Nick Saban and, like, their coaching staff there. I think he was kind of panicky there as well. But, like, it was covered up by the amount of talent Bama has there, and I think it just gone worse with how bad Miami has just gotten over the years. Like they just keep looking worse and worse. And I think it's not helping Tua at all.
Definitely not. I believe we talking confident here, Key. I'm assuming we were chatting about Chad Kelly. And yeah, it is weird when he's confident saying I'm going to be back and haha, just kidding. Then he didn't even play. Yeah, when he made that whole comeback video on social media. He's been very quiet on social media since that video.
I mean, I gotta say, he is a great guy. He does a lot of charity work with Burvey McMillan, a great children's hospital in Toronto, and he's a super, super nice guy, too. He's done a lot of good. I'm just saying, Nick Arbuckle, it's no drama or worry about. Right?
But time will tell, right? Just because they say it's something now. The Oilers a couple months ago said they were quite content with sticking with Stuart Skinner, and clearly that wasn't the case. Yeah. So you can say something now and mean something else later.
Yeah. But thanks for the great question.
Yeah, thank you for the great question, Leafs man. 222. Yeah. And thank you to Duncan as well, another new viewer, for chatting with us about this Minnesota versus Cowboys game. Cowboys just got the ball back, down 1 late in the third quarter. Well, that's anyone's game, I would say. But I think it's time we probably wrap things up for the night.
I've been on for a while, so thank you, everyone.
So thank everyone for all the comments. But before we go, and let's see if I can get through this without Dan interrupting me.
You're not.
I might just mute his mic. But before we go, I do want to mention, if anyone knows me on a personal level, a little announcement that I'm making. I'm working on a new like EP, I guess we'll call it. I've been writing music, oh my gosh, since I was like 14, or even younger. And I'm working on a new project titled In My Spare Time, because that's kind of the only time I ever work on it. Hopefully that I don't have a release date yet or an album cover, but if you head over to my music Facebook page, which I have just shared in the comment section, head over to that, as well as I'm on Instagram as well. I'll be creating a TikTok for it, and I'm on YouTube under jamo.music, JAMO.music. Then I will be making announcements towards a new project, leaking some new stuff, and there's going to be lots of new music coming in 2026. So I just wanted to quickly shout that out while I had the analyst desk viewership, that you should come on over to jamo.music. Maybe I'll even do some live music sessions with you guys. That could be something different, doing some live freestyling on the air. And I just wanted to mention that I'm working on a new project, and might even have Lane Dashing Dashko as a feature.
Oh my gosh, the dashing one. The dashing one, and Jacob Moore, sports analyst.
I can do the ad-libs.
There you go.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Adam can do our makeup.
No, I can't do makeup. You guys would look so horrible.
Adam never look. I mean,
we look like clowns.
Lane never looked. Dan, you already look like a clown because the Steelers aren't getting to 10 wins. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us at the Analyst Desk. And please head over to the music page if you want to hear some of my content there. Looking for more content from the Analyst Desk, follow us on all the social medias. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. We're gonna be. I need to start that Twitter account. So we'll be on Twitter, and or X, whatever the hell it's called now. But thank you very much for joining us at the desk, joined by an amazing panel again, and Mr. Lane Dashing Dashko, Mr. More for Your Money.
Woo!
Adam is never alone. And myself, Jacob Moore, sports analyst. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll be back very, very soon. Have a great rest of your evening, and enjoy the rest of the Vikings versus Cowboys game. And I can't. Lane is waving 6-7s all day. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'm assuming Adam is waving. We just can't see him.
Yes, for
So-
sure, definitely.
Thank you very much,
picture
everyone.
and waving.
And we will be back very, very soon. But until then, thank you for joining us at the analyst desk, where every day feels like game day.
Bye.
Bye.